Hi everyone, so I'm back with Norman, and we're going to talk about when I went to prison when I was 18, and Norman encouraged me then to start boxing, but we weren't allowed to get equipment into the prison because it was against the rules. So we couldn't have head guard, gum shield, we couldn't have gloves, anything, pads. So what we did, me and Norman decided we would do it ourselves anyway. We used to wrap a pair of socks around our knuckles, and we just went and sparred, didn't we?
That wouldn't help, obviously, the impact. Anyone that knows about fighting, that wouldn't help the impact with the punches, like. But what it would help, like, you know what I mean? I didn't want Matt, like a few of the other boys, like, turn into the street, and with their power, like, if they hit someone in the street, like, it's possible they could kill someone, like. These boys, what I trained up was special, like, you know what I mean? And I wanted Matt to get the idea of always having something in his hands, because if he got in too many street fights, and this is why I don't really want him to do the bare knuckle, like, but you know, it's up to him, because it was brought in, the gloves were protection for your hands and for the chin, like, and for that protection you could save a life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's more better, you know what I mean?
Well,
safer. We're getting older as well now, a bit wiser.
when we sparred, I think you were probably about 30 years old. I was 18, but we did quite a few goes, didn't we?
All the time. I was getting fed. Sometimes you have a bad visit or bad day, and he'd be standing up in the balcony, like, with his hands wrapped up. Come on, Norman, let's have a...
I used to love it.
Oh,
I loved
my God,
it.
here we go. Again, like, I've had a bad day, so I'd get up there, like, and... Oh, the sparring was a little bit rougher, like, you know what I mean? And it was funny, because sometimes... In the shower room, there'd be a button come out where the shower was, like, and I'd ram him like that into it, like, and he'd hit it, and the shower would come down, and the youngsters, they weren't youngsters. Some of the boys were in for murder and everything.
Yeah.
Worse than that, they were on remand, like, so they were at the most dangerous.
They'd all come and watch the sparring, because it was like a big thing. Me and Norman sparring in the prison. And they'd all come and watch.
Now and again they'd be shouting and pointing, like, and I'd grab one of them and throw him into Matt, like, and Matt would have a little gentle fight and a few body shots and this, that and the other, and they would have a little go, like, then I'd pull him off and pull someone else in, like, and after about 5 minutes of that I'd get in and have a go myself.
The reason I loved it was because Norman had such a big reputation around the area, well, around England for fighting. For me to be doing it against Norman, I felt proud, and that's what I've always wanted, to go in with the best fighters. And
we used to get bruised knuckles. I felt bad once. You had a visit with your mum and you had a big black eye. Like,
I didn't mind all that, though.
And I didn't feel right. But the point is,
I enjoyed it.
Now and again, I mean, in this ring here, like, when Barry Bennett comes down, like, and we had a few boys boxing white collar, like, and a few of the local boys. And it was their sons, like, what?
Oh, you all fought?
Big, strong. Yeah, it was their sons. What they were training up for the white collar.
Yeah.
And Barry said, Norman, you got to step it on them, be hard on them, like, you know what I mean, rough them, like. I said, but they're only kids. He said, these boys are good, like, the family, lovely family they are, like. Anyway, it was one of his sons, like, and he said, you bullied me. I said, listen, how did your boy do? He had about 3 or 4 knockouts, 3 or 4 fights. Every fight he had a knockout. I said, do you think I wanted to spar with your young boy? Like, I was fucking twice my size, like, you know what I mean? I said, I brought out the best in him, like. When he got in, he thought he was challenging me, like. And I said, he took everyone, like, you know what I mean? I said, and Barry Bennett said, I had to step it up with him, like, you know what I mean? I said, you got a great son there, great boxer, like. I said, you should be thanking me, really. And it was the same with Matt. If you want the best out of someone, you've got to give them the best, you know what I mean? And some of the punches we were exchanging, we must have got cracked, bruised knuckles, cracked knuckles, like. He used to occasionally get a blood nose, black eye. It was all right for me while I was in prison, but when I got out, he'd got down a boxing club. And when I started mixing it with him then I started getting the blood eyes and blood noses and broken noses and black eyes. I remember we had a lovely boxer there. I helped him up. I've used a sparring partner for him as well, Vic Wright.
Yeah, Vic.
Vic was he was a lovely fellow. He had a good amateur record. He was a good fighter, street fighter, a top boy, like.
Didn't you spar with Lee Hasdell as well?
Lee, I think I sparred with them all, like, a few pros as well, like, you know what I mean? It's a few good
You sparred with me
professionals.
before the James Toney fight.
Yeah,
and a few of the other big fights.
Yeah,
Norman used to let me hit him in the stomach. He'd let anyone hit him in the stomach. So he'd hold his hands up and he'd let you hit him full power in the stomach. Anyone.
And the kicks, martial artists.
Yeah.
I used to let them on when the martial artists used to come down there. My thing of the day when I was younger, not now, I said was I could exchange body blows with anyone in the world.
Yeah.
Any fighter. Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, Tyson, maybe not Tyson Fury because he's a bit tasty. Listen, Tyson Fury, fucking love him, mate. He's a great person. Like, he's a lovely family. And I think he's probably one of the best fighters ever walked the earth.
He's
Like,
one of the best.
anyone that knows what fighting's about will know what he's about. They always say, but in the 70s and 80s, he would have got a lot more fights in the 70s and 80s. But I think he still would have won them all. Like, you know what I mean? I think he's untouchable, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not knocking the best. I mean, you know, up there was Ali was the greatest. Tyson was fantastic. Joe Frazier. Foreman, they were fantastic. But what I'm saying is, you know, he was maybe better or just as good. Like, you know what I mean?
He would be able to,
he
to
would
fight
stand
on their level. Yeah.
He could fight on their level and probably win. I think he could be one of the greatest fighters of all times. And that's not only me saying that, Matt's saying anyone what knows what the fight game's about and they're a heavyweight will realise how good he is. And the man's untouchable. Like, he is good.